All right, we have Vlad here with Window Sharks. I just want to say thank you, Vlad, for being here, man. I appreciate your time.
Of course. Thank you for having me over here, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, and can you tell us kind of, you know, what services do you offer and where are you located?
Cool. So the few services my company provides is we do residential commercial window tinting. So we specialize in heat control, privacy, and from there on, we also do residential, commercial, and post-construction window cleaning. So newly built homes, hotels, homeowners, everything that we can get our hands into, we specialize in. We do that. We are located in southern Utah, though, so we are located in St. George right now.
Okay, very cool. Yeah, and I was wondering, like, what got you into the industry? Because, like, honestly, your content's really good, and I'll go
Mhm.
into that after. But what got you into this industry? I mean, was this something you just fell into, or you just came across it one day?
Yeah, no, that's actually a really good question. I guess I'll only way I can explain that is start from the start. I work for another window cleaning company though, so I work for him, and I was getting paid percentage wise, and I would do jobs that would take 8 hours and 4 hours. So I would work my way up, trying to build his company up, and I didn't feel like the amount of work I'm putting in, the amount of energy I'm putting in, sacrifice I'm doing, I'm getting paid for it or getting treated like at least for it, you know? So bringing in 13, $1,400 by like every other week. So by paycheck after making a guy like 10, 15 grand in a week or in a month, whatever it was, I didn't feel like it was fair. So we kind of went back and forth. I said, hey, man, I would love to grow your company. I have these tinting ideas I have experience in. I have this ideas for social media. Just pay me my worth and I would love to do business with you, you know? And it just didn't turn out as much as I thought it would be. And he ended up letting me go. So I'm a very young, I'm 22 and I'm very petty. It comes with my gender. I mean, I guess my age, you can say, because I started my business when I was 21. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start a competition for him. I'm gonna make him regret firing me. I'm gonna make him regret like letting me go. And it kind of started like that type of brainstorm. But then 3 months in, I realized, hey, I need to switch up my mentality if I want to have my business be successful, or I'll be just chasing some like idea, you know? So that's how I kind of got started in my company.
Gotcha. Okay, awesome, man. And what is it just you, or do you have a partner, as far as running it?
Yeah, so I'm the single owner right now, so I'm the only owner. I do have one that's an office assistant. She does all my, say you, the builders like Toll Brothers or Fortune 500. They send over a contract, and the contract is very complicated. And I have her to look over that. I have her for scheduling for
Mm,
things I need to do in the background. And then I have Zoe that on my social media. He's my best friend.
yeah.
He lives at my house, family, and he runs the field, like say doing the jobs itself, the manual work with me. And then we have about, I like to say, five other employees that are 1099. So they
Okay.
do door to door, they do part time when I need them, little things like that.
Gotcha. Okay. Very cool, man. And yeah, that's something that honestly, why I wanted a big reason why I want to talk to you too is like your branding is really good, and I've talked to you in the past before, and your content's very unique, and that really drew my eye. And I think too, in the cleaning industry, I feel
Yeah.
like that's something that you and I noticed it, and I live in a whole different coast than you, is you really take marketing, I think, and you kind
Mhm.
of make it very unique. And that's, I think, I assume probably what makes you different than your competitors is as far as, as a clientele. Like, could you just kind of break down like how what equipment do you use for your marketing? Because I've seen you might use drones for some of these videos, or like, what's your take on your marketing strategy as far as and like getting jobs, right? Like, are you big on ads? Are you big on just door to door yard signs, things like that?
Mhm. Yeah, so that's actually another good question. With I'll break it down so it's a little bit easier. Marketing wise, my company actually employs another company to come out and do professional pictures, professional videos. They come out with us for a job, and I just tell them, hey, this is what I'm looking for, this is what I need, and this is what I expect. So that being said, my guys come out. He will spend like an hour to 2 hours filming, and he'll edit a video, and then he'll send me like two, three different videos, and I say, hey, let's switch this up, let's do this, let's make it like this. The drone shots, the reason I really like that with following up to like say more of like a personal shots is because it shows you the type of houses we're able to do. It's one thing that I can tell you, hey man, we've done homes that are 20,000 square foot homes. And in your head, you might be like, oh, it's big versus can you reach that? So now when you look at a little 30-second film, you know, hey, yes, they can. This is how they do it, things like that. And the way I place the marketing wise, like the way they make the videos for me, I like to make sure if I ever decide I want to grab them, I can run them as a little, say, like an ad, Facebook ad, Instagram ad, Google ad, every single content they make, no matter what, I can grab them, even though it doesn't look like an ad, I can make an ad out of it.
Mm,
That's where I was looking into it. That being said, marketing wise, I do not honestly pay any Google, Facebook, a guy that charges me five, six, $700 a month to do all this um, marketing that you will say, because I'm only been in business for a year and a half, and that's not something I wanted to do. Where I get my clients is either door to door or referrals, or say Facebook people I join group chats and they're like, hey, we're looking for a window tinter, we're looking for a window cleaner, throw in your suggestions. And every client, they will be referring us. So every time they refer, we see it and we message them and we get clients from there on. But that being said, we create a Google page. Our business Google page has about, I like to say, a little around 150 plus 5-star reviews. So say you are sitting down and you type in on your computer, you say, I want residential window tint, I want window cleaning, and a bunch of companies will pop up. And the thing that catches their eyes is our star reviews are pretty high. And then when they go read the reviews, it names us by name. It doesn't say, oh, Window Sharks came out and they did a good job. It says, hey, Vladimir Window Sharks came out with Lorenzo and they did this, this, and this, and this. They say by name, you know?
that makes
So
sense.
that's what kind of separates us a little bit. Instead of saying the company did, they say these guys at this company did it, which makes us look face to face. Like some of the content you see, I talk to the camera and I say, hey, this is us, this is what we do, here's this, this. It's more pleasing to the ear, more pleasing to the eye, knowing face to face, hey, this is the same guy that's going to be picking up the phone, that's going to show up to my house to do a quote, that will clean my windows, that will tint my windows, as this video. Versus somebody that's like takes a picture of the house and types in, we do window cleaning, window tinting, here's my number, ask me for a quote. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't catch anybody's eyes, you know?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And absolutely, that's really good. And do you guys do, because this is one thing, that a lot of companies, I think they always kind of go back and forth with, like online versus in-person quotes. What has helped you? Do you guys do both? Do you just do one or the other?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's actually something that people don't honestly understand, I feel like. We do both. So let me put it this way. Say I look at my whole month schedule and I see somebody called me, like say today I had full 10 jobs and we're doing it and I know I have this and this time to go look at it. And somebody calls me and says, hey Vlad, I'm interested in a quote. And I'm over the phone and I said, okay, are you interested inside and out? and they tell me, and I'm like, hey, is this a good number to text? And about 99% of the time they say yes. So I send over my request link and they fill out basic information, their name, their address, their phone number, their email. It goes into my jobber system and then I see the ping and I can schedule in a quote for that day. Like I can say, hey, let me schedule you in today in 45 minutes, today in 3 hours, or can I schedule you in tomorrow for the quote? So we try turning the quotes, like the ratio was, what I like to do is within 2 hours or within the same day. Nothing past the same day. If I have to make a client wait 2, 3 days, they can call another company and now I lost potential client, right? So what we do is if we are super busy, instead of showing up there and doing like I just said, I would just say, hey, would you send me a picture of the front and the back of your house from the outside? They send me a picture, I look at the quote, I kind of have a rough estimate, I send them a quote and they say, okay, let's do it. Or hey, what about this and this? So now I'm able to do it digitally without spending time driving, or I can show up at their house and do it. The reason I like both, um, it's that aspect of me coming to your house and talking to you face to face, saying, hey, here's what we do, here's what we could do to you, here's some discounts, here's this. And now I'm able to click with you, I'm able to build a relationship, I'm able to build trust, which gets me a job versus, oh, we just talked to a phone and you send me a picture and I send a quote. So now you have two choices. You either can go with us for the relationship we just built within that 5, 15 minutes I was over at your house, or with the price I sent you, because other people can send a price $50 more, $50 less. At the end of the day, that's what they look at. Versus you show up to their house, you talk to them, and they're like, you know what? Why would I pay $25 less when I can pay you that $25 extra for all these other benefits?
Oh
So
yeah,
we kind
no.
of put it together.
Yeah, and we do the exact same thing. If we can't go that day or the next morning, we do the same. Just ask for photos and then do it like that. Because I've realized when we wait more than 24 hours, the to get that job goes down a lot.
It does.
So,
Mhm.
and like you said, I'm sure there's a lot of competition, just like there's a lot of competition here. They'll just call next
Yeah.
company. um and how do you take those companies when people are like the $99 guy, right? Like,
Mhm.
how do you take the calls when you get a quote and then you give them the quote and then they're like, well, the last company just they were half the price. Like, how do you overcome that rebuttal?
That actually, yeah, surprisingly, that happens a lot to us, especially when I started a year and a half ago when I launched my company. I would knock doors. And just like back then, this was a year and a half ago before all the, like, say, all the pandemic, before all the prices got raised, everything's expensive now. So I say the same thing to them as I did a year ago when I knocked the door. I said, yes, you can go for a $99 one, or you can go with a $180 one. Here's a few difference. You pay less twice, or you can pay more once. So you can pay that 99 maybe 2, 3 times till they get it right. Then 99 times three becomes more than what you could have paid to do it the right way the first time. I also let them know saying, hey, there's a reason why they're charging so low is because they don't have insurance. They might not be right licensed. They are just kids that are doing out of their mom's garage door, doing it for fun, doing it for extra cash, versus me and my company, we do it as a living. We do it to provide food for families, to buy new toys, to do little things like that. So we take more pride in it. We are licensed, we're insured, we're have all this system like text messages 30, 40, 50 minutes ahead of time. You'll know when we're coming in. When we're done, we do a walkthrough and we send out an invoice. It gives you 5, 10 different ways to pay through that invoice, and then you get a receipt automatically. 3 days prior to your appointment, you get notifications. So you're always in control as a homeowner. You're always in the loop. You get a notification saying, hey, today's Monday, and you say, hey, your appointment's on Thursday, and you check your calendar and you're like, oh, I'm actually going on vacation on Thursday. So now say that 99 kid, he won't do it because he wants to get paid that same day, right? We'll show up, we do the job, we send out an invoice, and a client's in Bali and he looks at their email, says, window sharks, here's your invoice. They look down how much we charge, discounts, whatever. They pay right there within 5 seconds. So little benefits like that, as well as, hey, okay, so say we didn't do the job correctly and these guys didn't do the job correctly. The difference between us is you let us know, we come in, we come fix it. They are not getting paid enough to care about that. They just made their money and they're on to the next door. Versus we're over here, we made our money and now we want to build a relationship to put you on a recurring schedule where we're getting more money, longer term, while taking care of you so you don't have to look for anybody else. So that's kind of how I let them know is you can either pay for quality work to do the right way, or you can pay a kid that charges $99 for a full exterior and interior cleaning, and he will slip on the ladder, break your glass, and you know what he'll do? He'll pack his shit and get out. And guess who owns? It's your house. You will pay. Legally, you can't do anything to make the kid pay or make the person pay who created that damage if they just charge that much and they get out. Versus us, we're making more money doing a better job. So if something like that happens, we have our insurance to come in. They're like, hey, let's cover it. And now they don't have to worry about it. They're like, wow, these guys handled the situation professionally. They did a clean job. They made a mistake. They fixed it. And we had a great, great experience with it versus, wow, this was nightmare, you know?
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. That that's exactly how I would approach, and that's because I get that all the time too. And I was gonna ask, how'd you come up with the name, man? Window Sharks. It's really cool. Like, and I know
Yeah,
your whole slogan's like sharks of the industry, but
yeah.
your name's really good. I was just curious how you came up with it.
I appreciate it, man. Honestly, when I launched the company, I was set on doing Apex. So I was actually going to go with that Apex Windows,
Okay.
something, because you're 21, you're young, you want a cool name, So I was looking at that and I typed it in and it was taken. So that put me back into an area where I had to find a name. So it took me 3, 4 days sitting on the couch thinking, this is going to be the rest of my life. This is going to be what I'm known for. So when I was looking at names, I'm going through like name options, thinking of things. I start thinking in my head, I'm like, what is my goal of coming into this industry that at least in my area, we have 3, 4, 500 plus companies that are licensed. We got as much or more companies that are little kids from high school that are not licensed, that are doing it for extra money. So we have competition like crazy. So what did I was wanting to do that make a statement without really triggering people? So in my head, I'm like, if I'm working with water, who are the kings of water? At least in my head, I was like sharks. I'm young. I don't know about killer sharks, all these other. I don't care
I
about
got
that.
you.
I
Yeah.
care about what is vicious. So I did some research about sharks and I found out like sharks, they take what they want, when they want, from who they want, but at the same time, they're very honorable. So when I thought about that, I was like, that's kind of what my fundamentals are is I want to come into this industry. I want to come in as an underdog. I want to be like, you know what? I can do this job better than you for same, less, or more price. So that being said, I was like, you know what? I like sharks. That's what I want to be known as, a shark. I want to be known as a shark of the industry that comes in. I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm not saying I'm better than you. I'm just a shark. What that means for me is I come in and if I feel like, hey, this is my job. I want this. That house, that commercial building, I want it. I get there's 20, 30 other companies want it, but I want it. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take it. No matter what I have to do, I'll take it. So that's how I came up with the sharks, at least my mindset.
Yeah.
And then Windows part is just a word for a lot of people search up saying window cleaning near me. So that window gets triggered with the window sharks and it pops us up. Anything that says window, the at least the way I understand marketing is, it will pop up my name up, you know? If I did say something like St. George window sharks, so if people search up St. George window cleaning, that's St. George and window, it will pop my company up, you know? So instead of
Yeah.
doing all that, I wanted something that I can feel pride. Like, you know, because a lot of people, when they think about window cleaning, they think of some old dude that's gonna do thing like that, you know,
Yeah,
like
I know.
very typical. I
Yeah.
want to make sure I come in and I make window cleaning. That's why it's my page looks sexy. I want to make sure they understand this window cleaners. There's such a unique system like Warfare, whole little other things that people don't understand. I want to make sure people knew that.
Yeah.
Hence why we kind of went with that name, little moderate, little young, you know, little
Oh
things
no,
like that.
I love it. I would if I could redo, I'm stuck with Cleaning Bee Pro, but but yeah, man, no. And last thing, any people watching, someone who wants to start, it could be a window cleaning business or any home service business, any last word tips or advice to give he or she about just starting running a business?
Honestly, if I could say one thing, I would say be unique. Don't copy others. Stand out. So what I mean by that is, let me ask you a question. Have you seen or have you heard another window cleaner that does window tinting as well as window cleaning before until you
No,
met me?
no, I know a lot of people in the industry, and no, that's why when I saw it, I'm like, man, because I remember I asked you a while back. I'm like, man, how'd you get in this tinning? But yeah, it's super super unique.
It, it's unique and it's hard to copy. That's what I would recommend. If you're starting a business, I would say make your company stick out with something that nobody, let me actually rephrase that. A lot of people, it's easy to copy it, but not easy. Something that will make you different that's hard to copy. Because at the end of the day, they can call in a company and say, okay, so this company does power washing, gutter cleaning, Christmas lights, window cleaning, garage cleaning. They do the same thing that puts them in such a thin type of, I guess, clientele versus somebody like me that comes in unique. I do window tinting and I do window cleaning, I do hydrophobic coating, you know, all little things like that that a lot of companies in Utah don't. I haven't met a single legit company that does both. I
Mm,
know companies that do window tinting that are automotive, they do car wrapping and
yeah.
tinting, and they do automotive, so they do residential tinting. I know companies that specialize only in residential tinting. I know companies that specialize about 99% in residential tinting and kind of will say, hey, we'll clean your windows, you know, but nobody that does what I do that does 50-50, 100-100
Yeah.
the same way. So that being said, it puts me in such a unique situation where I can come into your house. I did your house. Say you called me for window tint. I come in and I say, okay, man, today you have a one-story house, your house about 2,000 square foot, and I measure out your windows. I'm like, okay, you're sitting about 3 grand for window tint. You can pay me this 3 grand, or you can pay me 1,400 if I can put you on a quarterly window cleaning schedule.
Mm,
So I just gotta say 2,400 dollars. I actually just did this. I do this all the time, and I just did this about 3 days ago. And we have a client coming up on Friday that we're going to be doing the tint for. The exact same thing I just said. I said, hey man, let me do this. I'll put you on a quarterly schedule. It's a year quarterly schedule. After a year, if you want to cancel, be my guest. But as of right now, think of it this way. You're saving money from the tent, and whatever you save from the tent, you're basically using as a window cleaning schedule. So now I have a
that's
job I can give. So now I got a job I can give to my employees. I can say, hey, this day, about 2 hours of this day is full. About an hour of this day is full, just because I did that. So now I have a recurring client and I can come in to that neighborhood and knock those doors or do the same thing or their neighbors. I offer more than window cleaning to a point where they're like, okay, window tinting takes skills, takes knowledge, takes all the things that window cleaning is not. So when I do this together, it makes me a little bit more unique. It makes me think in my head, hey, here's like the little thing I just told you, a little
Yeah.
secret I don't tell a lot of people, something you can use for yourself is just what I did. Now I'm able to grow my company just because I see the opportunity in my window tint skills and I see what I could do with my window cleaning and I'm just click it together and they can either bite it and if they don't, I make a big chunk that day.
Oh yeah,
So it's a win-win for me.
and that's the beauty, I would say. Yeah, like I don't know anyone. Everyone pretty much does the same, and I'm guilty of this, right? I haven't learned tinting yet, right? Like we do pressure washing, window clean, gutter clean. You're right, it is in a box, but like the upsell game is everything, right? Like today we did a gutter cleaning, and I'm like, hey, your house is dirty. Let's do a house wash, and then got them on the schedule for next week. And last question, and I appreciate your time. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Last question. Do you see yourself adding another service later on, or do you think you're just gonna keep the window tinting, the coating, and the window clean? Or do you see yourself your company doing maybe Christmas lights or gutter cleaning or something like
Mhm.
that?
So short answer is yes. We're 100% going to be adding something new. That's my goal is adding something new that's unique that will make me more money so I can pay my guys and they can live their best life. That's my goal, right? That's my job, that's my duties, that's my responsibility as the owner of my company is to provide for my employees and people around me good life,
Right.
better life they would with somebody else. That being said, it's impossible to do if you only do those three things. You know, say, yeah, cool, I'm making $500,000 a year. Then you got to think of expense, all that things, right? How do you bring your company from making 200,000 to 500,000 to 600 to 8 to a million? Besides growing it, expand like getting more clients. Um, yes, we're going to be adding something. I don't want to say what it is just yet because my priority is window tint, residential, window cleaning, residential, commercial, and construction, and then hydrophobic coating, right? Those three things are my priority right now to master so I can teach my employee, so I can grow my company for another year or two, so we can get another employee and teach him. And when there's three of us doing more work, I'm going to implement that other thing I wanted to add, which I don't want to say what it is. It has nothing to do with window cleaning. It's very different. It's more of the industry of residential window tinting than it is in window cleaning. So it's a different type of thing, but it will put me in a more area where I can get done with that job and say, hey, here's 15% off your window cleaning just because you did a job with me. Here's 15% off your residential window tinting because you did a job with me. Those three will upsell each other. So as much as I want to add it right now, and I'm like all hungry and ambitious and young, I am a little bit smarter than that. I would like to say, plus I want to be safe to a point where those three things I get so good at it that I can do it in my sleep. Once I'm able to do that, I can add another guy and then start looking into that. But Christmas lights, gutter, cleaning, power washing is three things I will never do because I don't ever want to put myself or my company in the stereotypical window cleaner.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be honest, dude, I don't want to go, like, I don't want to be sitting at a dinner table at my girlfriend's house and they're like, what do you do for a living? Oh, I'm a window cleaner. Like, they don't understand, like, window cleaners, there's so much that goes into it and they make a lot of money. They
Oh
make
yeah.
Dude, I know a window cleaner makes $1 million+. I know window cleaners that make shit ton more. But
Yeah.
the fact is, when you say just window cleaning, everybody around you will thinking, oh, squeegee. They
Yeah.
don't
I
understand
know.
that whole business side of it.
I
So I want to put myself in a situation where I say, I'm an entrepreneur. So now I don't have to explain myself. I don't need to waste my time telling you something because you are not part of my life. You don't benefit my life. So why do I need to tell you a lot of stuff and show off and brag and things like that? Because I never want to put myself in that situation, you
Oh
know?
yeah. No, and most people who do power washing, gutter cleaning, they won't ever touch window cleaning because 99% of people, they've tried it and it's too difficult. Window
It is.
cleaning is by far the most skilled thing because, as you know, like if you could leave a drop, it could be inside a window, inside, and then that client is gonna call and be like, "Hey,
Yeah,
what's the streak?" And with gutter cleaning, let's be honest, whether you're using a blower, you're using your hands, you're just getting debris, remove it, right? It's much easier. Power
mhm.
washing, yeah, there's more liability, but you're
Technical
just
control.
throwing stuff, bleach on a house, or
Mhm.
using a surface cleaner. So window cleaning, because I do all three. Window
Mhm.
cleaning by far a million times more technique, and that's why a lot of people won't touch it because
Yeah,
you got to be way more skilled.
yeah, it's easier for me, at least from my point of view, it's easier for a window cleaner to adapt power washing, gutter
Yeah.
cleaning, Christmas lights than um say a power washer adapt all that. For don't get me wrong, so I want to make sure everybody knows this. Power washing, Christmas lights, and gutter cleaning is hard as shit. Excuse my language. It takes skill, it takes patience, it takes uniqueness to build a business, but it puts you in such a low area where gutter cleaning might need twice a year, versus window cleaning can use 4 times a year. Power washing a house can use twice a year, once a year, versus window cleaning can do that, right? The liability though that they don't understand is a power washer, Christmas light, gutter cleaning, they can do window cleaning residentially. That's easy to copy. But once they get to construction side,
Mm.
they need to realize they need to learn which blades to use on which window. They need to learn about coating on glass. They need to learn about double paints, all that stuff. So they can grab a razor, they do construction removal, they do it on this window, no scratches. They do it on the next window the same way, shit ton of scratches. Now that one window will cost you two, three, four, 5 times more than you made that whole job, you know?
Oh yeah.
The construction takes 4, 5, 6 hours, minimum to do, depending on the size of the house. The liability in scratching the glass, damaging the glass are crazy through a roof. There can be 20 grand, 30 grand, 80 grand for scratch removal, depending on what type of houses you do. The liability in that versus you create an air bubble here and there, an accident is different. It's not in day. So, like I said, don't get me wrong. They do an amazing job, but that's something I don't want to waste my time in doing power washing, all that stuff. I get a lot of people might watch this and they'd be like, "Oh, dude, you're wasting this money and this and this and this opportunity of doing that." And they could be right, but why would I waste my energy in trying to do what everybody else is doing where I could do my own thing unique and make more money? I can power washing a whole exterior house. Say I did a 2,400 square foot house, 1 story. People make three, four, $500. That's me being generous, right?
Yeah.
At least where I am.
Yeah. No,
That's
that's
what you'll make,
yeah.
and they'll spend a couple hours. Versus I can go out there and I can be like, let's see, I want to do this and this. Like, I won't say as much as I want to tell you what I want to do next with my company. I'll keep that
Mm,
a secret for a couple of years. I'll use window tinting as much. I could do the same thing. I can do 2 slider doors. So if you look at my house, I can do
mm-hmm.
these slider doors in half an hour max after prepping and everything, and make, say, this one when I quoted was around, I think, two something. So make $500-600 in 30 minutes versus somebody that power washed the whole house in an hour, hour and a half. Make the same thing.
Yeah. No,
So that's the thing is, if I'm going to put in my energy in something to grow, I want to make sure it's something that will create more opportunities for me. Me tinting these two for a client will create me an opportunity of doing their windows, maybe if I give them discount, or doing this and this and that, versus I power washed it, they give me opportunity to clean their windows, whatever. But now I can only power wash their house twice out of the year, or
and
once out of the year.
that's generous. I'd say a normal
Yep,
house washes
once
once,
a year.
maybe every other year, honestly.
Yep, yep. That's the game. Unless
Yeah.
say I'm 50, 60, 80 grand into a machine and a truck, and I start power washing homes, start power washing driveways, garages, go do commercial gas stations, things like that. that will take out so much of my energy that I'm not very familiar with that industry. Versus I'm familiar with my industry right now and the industry I'm going into, I feel more confident doing in that than this. So
Gotcha.
that's where I'm coming from. I'm not saying power washing is easy to copy, so I don't want to do it. No, it's as much as it is, it's just something that every other window cleaner company does it. So I don't want to do it. That's why I went my other route. And now that I'm this other route, I'm a year and a half company with my schedule semi full or full throughout the whole year. Because say today is raining and every window cleaner power washer they can't do the job, I can still schedule in a construction job to do the windows, or I can schedule a tint job and I can get it done. And now I made a couple grand versus I didn't make anything, and then I
Man.
wait for them to stay.
Oh, absolutely. But no, I just want to say thank you, man, for all your good knowledge, keep it up, and let's definitely stay in contact. And I'm gonna put your info, in the little info area so they can hit you up if they have any
Cool.
questions or anyone needs tinning or window cleaning and where you're located in Utah, they can hit you up. But yeah, thank you so much for your time, man. I really appreciate
Of course, man, I appreciate your time. Just like me, you're an entrepreneur. You are doing amazing things in your area, and we're trying to do the same thing. So I appreciate your time. All I can say is if somebody that's watching this and they want to create their own business, dude, just do it. Like, honestly, do what I did. I invested 50, 60 grand in a new vehicle, license insurance, high tech equipment, all that crap at the end of the day. It's yeah, you can think of, oh dude, I'm in debt, I lost money, I'm gonna be shitting my pants if I don't get the job. You can take that risk and get high reward like I did, or you can take that risk and fail and get a job, legit job for somebody else, work a full year, make the money that you just lost, and retry it. And then live your best life. Because at the end of the day, dude, it is I I give props to anybody that's able to live their life working for somebody else, making hourly rate, because that's insane for me. That is just it takes rare breeds to do that. So I
it.
would say, dude, just if that's something that you don't want to do and you want to create your business, just do it. You fail, get a job, make your
That's
money back, redo it again. But this time when you redo it, you have a foundation, you have knowledge, you have something that you didn't know before. You can be here 15 years from now and be like, oh man, this one time I really want to create this business and I almost did it. I could have been like you, man.
yeah,
I
I know.
almost did it, but I decided not to.
I
Or you
know.
can be like, yeah, man, 15 years ago I did it. I failed like 7 times, and then eighth time I caught some luck, caught some drift, did it the right way, and people enjoy my work. And look at me now. I'm able to teach people. I'm able to help people around me.
I
It's
know. Well,
special.
thank you, boss. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, man. Hey, you have a good one, man.
You too, man.